No, don't light the firework on his head. Yo, you can't do him dirty like that. Yo, that's a fire hazard. So you're telling me if we get a season 3, we gotta go up against two of the strongest members of Bufurin's history, and they're out here just casually committing crimes like this. So Windbreaker Season 2 came to an end yesterday, and it was a fantastic finale, if not disappointing, given there's no Season 3 announcement, and with how much they bait you in with the strongest members, or ex-members, of Bufurin. It's like, where's my Season 3? But we got a lot to jump into. I haven't talked about this show in a hot minute, sadly, because no one gave a shit about it on my channel. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop your like, show your support. Hey, if it does well enough, maybe if we do get a season 3, I'll come back on the channel and try it again. Subscribe if you're new around here. I do make a lot of content on so many different anime. And hey, we do have the Patreon, where I've had people say, Brandon, did you drop Windbreaker? It's like, yeah, I dropped it on the channel, but I watched it over on Patreon every single week. So if you do want to see any of my thoughts to any single episode of Windbreaker, it's over there exclusively. If we do get a season 3 and like a video like this crashes, or I try, you know, a first impressions for season 3, that's where it lives. It's just how it is. You can't continue to do shows that completely bomb on your channel when it then negatively affects other series. So that's how it works. But I really did like this season. I would probably say I liked it more than the first. I do think there was elements of the first season where, like, there was some more exciting moments, but I can't deny that, like, they did so many things really well. And with how hard episode 12 of season 2 baits you in to say, hey, here's where we're going next. Endo, crazy cool character. You're like, okay, so he didn't really vibe with how Bufurin was uniting everyone. Very much gave me the impression of like, hey, the current regime here, you know, a character like Nire, does he deserve to be in a fighting squad? Probably not by most standards, but in a school like this, you know, everyone has their weaknesses, everyone has their strengths, and you compensate and, you know, make up for each other's downfalls. Clearly a character like Endo would have tossed his bitch ass to the curb. And all I'm learning is maybe I relate to Endo more than our current head. But either way, I thought that's where we were going. I was like, that's enough, you know, like, you know, they're clearly setting up where they want to go. It's sequel baity, but it's not super, like, deadly sequel bait. And then they drop Chika. Dude looks like Rengoku from Demon Slayer. And you're casually saying, hey, this is the one guy even our head's never been able to beat, and he's the strongest. And I'm not sure if the end implies that him and, you know, old Endo are working together, but all I'm saying is when I see a man, a good dozen bodies just casually piled up, and he sticks a freaking firework on the one guy's forehead and lights it. Now, the firework was tamer than I was expecting, but I'm convinced, like, they didn't even do him any wrong. He was just having a midnight snack of Twinks. like, what the hell? Like, you can't show all that and not confirm season 3. Now I get it, you know, Cloverworks and everything. They got a lot of anime lined up over the next year or two, so they probably don't have it in their schedule. But please, for the love of God, tell me we are getting a season 3, because you can't sequel bait us this hard and not. And the thing is if like the production committee didn't have plans for more, I feel like they would have changed this episode. If anything, like, I've seen a lot of shows do anime original episodes and just do something fun for the finale, because the next episode chronologically in the source material would just be too sequel baity, and, you know, it's hard to say. Now, if this was 2010s, it doesn't matter. They sequel bait and never confirm. But, you know, it's been a pretty common thing that it's been less go read the manga source material endings these days, with how they like to end seasons if they don't know if they're continuing. Good stopping points. Either way, I enjoyed it. There's a couple of things that really stood out. Tsubaki was a fantastic character, of course, but I think the one thing that I haven't seen a lot of people touch on, and I think it's probably my overall favorite aspect about this season, so it's probably going to be the main thing I talk about here, is actually what they did with Sakura's character as a whole. So when you have your MC who's like, I'm going to be the strongest, I'm gonna lead everything, and, you know, over season 1 got a reality check that he's definitely had a long way to climb to the top, but at the end of the day, you know, entering season 2, I wasn't expecting him to just consistently get his ass pushed in, but also be pushed to the back burner. As overall, he's the main character. Like, yes, it's an ensemble cast, but Sakura, by all definition, is the main character that we follow and are supposed to root for to see his success. And they majorly sidelined him this season. And sometimes sidelining your MC could be a negative thing. But for a character who started off so hot-headed, I don't need anyone, I rule with power, that's how this world works, to go into a school that ends up being like, hey, we're all friends, we all look out for each other, and when one person falls, we all help them back up. The idea of pushing, like the first battle of the season, he did jack shit, he just got his shit pushed in, and he felt pathetic. And because of that pathetic feeling, he was then forced to open up and observe everyone. To watch a character who in any other show would have just continued to be hot-headed, would have said, you know what, I'm the main character, because for him, it's his world, it's his, I want to do what I want to do, and through sheer determination of monkey brain energy, he would become the strongest fairly quickly. And instead, we're saying, no, Sakura had to really sit back and relax and say, I ain't even close to being the top in this school, and hey, we're gonna add in the fact that he ain't even the top of this world by far, and he might never be, and he's slowly starting to understand that it's a team effort rather than a solo, I always need to be the strongest. And that's a really good piece of characterization that I really haven't seen any discussion around. It's always been like, oh, look at this arc, which I get it, like, hey, there's been some great characterization. I think that whole Red Light District arc was really, really good, and, you know, he barely had any involvement in it. But by sidelining Sakura, not in a way that it ruins his character, by pushing him back and forcing him to observe other characters and actually start to accept things, it made him a much more enjoyable character than he had any right being leaving season 1. And I think that's a really good point that a lot of people overlooked. But yeah, Windbreaker season 2, very good. I could understand if some people said season 1 was better just because some of the fights, but at the end of the day, I think what they did narratively and character-driven wise, it's great. I still question what the kids' bodies are made of, because when you end the previous arc with a man jumping from the 3rd or 4th story, lands on his knees and just says, ouch, your knees would have shattered, my boy. But then again, this is the same show that in the previous season, characters in the one-on-ones were being dropped on their neck pile drive and walking it off. I just have to accept that this world is just built different. Well, great season. I wish I could have talked about it on the channel weekly, but, you know, even when the videos at face value looked like they got decent views, like, they didn't have long watch time. I don't know. People just wanted to, I guess, watch people just say, ooga booga, monkey brain swing, rather than critical analysis. But hey, you know, it is what it is. But I did want to give at least one last thought just to say, hey, yes, I did watch this whole season. Patreon shows all my reactions, but in terms of my like kind of final thoughts anyway, I think with how they ended this episode, season 3 is a possibility, a very strong possibility, but 2, it was a decent capstone to Sakura's character, and if I never saw more in the anime field, at least I know that I feel confident in where his character goes, and in return the other characters kind of following him. So yeah, great stuff. Hopefully it gets more popular in the West, because I know Japan vibes with this quite a bit. And it does feel like the people who watched the show really liked it, but it just never caught on the same way something like Tokyo Revengers did in its first season, which is a sad thing to see. Your thoughts, though, what did you think? Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and yes, Patreon for live reactions and other exclusives like, hey, I give a video shout out to all of my patrons. So today we got Amy, Aliceum, Spoonchus 5, Lunchbox Slayer, Blue Wizard, Annoying Waffle, Jama Boo, Anne, Tade Goldway, One Piece Man, and we also have Nicholas Wilhelm. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You all have a good one.